everybody has a talent. Everybody has something to give. And if they are not giving it, maybe they don't realize it, or maybe they haven't been provided the opportunity to do so. But each and every person has something to give. And so leadership really is about.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Um, so we're here with the beautiful Elizabeth Grace,
Thank you.
president of the Central Florida Urban League.
Yes.
Uh, just give me two random facts about you.
Well, I don't know how random. I am born and raised in Orlando, and being hometown community raised has really, really shaped my personality and thankfully my career. So that's one. And I am wife and mother to two identical twin girls. So,
Identical twins.
yes,
A lot of people yearn to have twins.
those are the ones who don't have twins.
Okay. So what's your role and how long have you been with the Urban League?
So I'm president and CEO of the Central Florida Urban League, and I have been here for all of 3 weeks. So I am brand new to the role, but familiar with the organization and passionate about what we do, which is why I wanted to join.
It's beautiful. What past positions or experiences have contributed to your ability to lead in this role?
You know, I joke and say that I probably have worked every job that there is. I My degree is in journalism, and out of school, I worked for a public relations agency. So I'm familiar with PR and marketing. I'm familiar with messaging. I went into working with a higher education organization, so I'm familiar with particularly adult learning. I also was in sales for a while. I'm familiar with corporate organizations and budgets and balances, business analytics. And then since I have returned to Orlando in 2017, I have been extraordinarily privileged to be able to work within my areas of passion. And so I ran a nonprofit, so I'm familiar with nonprofit management. I worked for the downtown campus, which houses both the state college and university, and I had an eye towards community engagement there, so I've worked in the community. And so all of these experiences have really equipped me to be able to handle all the aspects of the Central Florida Urban League leadership and business.
Wow, that's quite extensive.
It is.
How do you manage to juggle it all or manage
It's
it
all
all?
about support. At home, I have an amazingly supportive husband. I'm from here, so both my parents are here. I have cousins that live here. But as I mentioned, I really do feel like I was raised in and by this community. And so I have colleagues and friends who are also incredibly supportive. And I'm able to call on people and I'm able to be a resource when called on. So that's kind of how I juggle everything. And so my ask sometimes may be, hey, can you babysit? Or it may be, hey, can you introduce me to this person? Or it may be, hey, do you know of so and so grants?
Yeah,
So it just depends, but it's all about the support.
yeah. What type of programs does the Urban League offer?
So currently, we focus on education, entrepreneurship, and employment. We have a program that we call Stronger Families program that centers around sometimes the non-custodial parent and making sure that there are all the tools for strong relationships, particularly when sometimes the co-parenting relationship can become frayed, it can become strained, and you need tools to be able to navigate that. You need tools to be able to also foster the relationship with your child, but also employment. Things like making sure you're paying your child support because that can affect your driver's license and all of those things. So we have the Stronger Families program. That's one. We have Microsoft Office specialist programs right now targeted more so towards high school teens, trying to give them some technology skills that they can become immediately employable. We also have an entrepreneurship and small business workshop or cohort that walks the participants through some of the essentials through either starting or maintaining a small business. And so all of these things are important, really, also for economic empowerment in our community. And so those are the things that we have our eye on right now. We have some youth kind of intervention programs, some things that look at gang involvement, education, and that kind of thing. So really it is a continuum. Programs for the youth, programs for young adults, programs for parents, all of those things.
If I was looking to connect to one of these programs, how would you tell me to do it?
Well, the first thing I would say, of course, is go to the website, www.cful.org. A lot of the programs are listed there. You can submit interest forms there. Someone will call you back or email you or text you, whichever is your preference. So that would be the first thing. And then also, you can just call up. You can call up. I always try to say I'm accessible. And even if I'm not the person that you need to be talking to, we will get you to the person you need to be talking to. So whether it's the website, we do have a Facebook page, we do have an Instagram page, we do have a LinkedIn page. So all of the social media outlets, you can reference those as well.
Amazing. So, can you share a powerful success story or a moment that reaffirmed the importance of the organization's work?
Sure. I will say this. Two things come to mind. My mother was on the board of at the time, Metro Orlando Urban League as a child, when I was a child, rather. She wasn't. but and I have the type of parents who, no matter your age, if they went, you were going.
Yeah.
So I attended Urban League meetings as a child. I went to Urban League events as a child, and I was able to see from a very young age what purpose the Urban League can serve as far as being a voice and a resource for our community. And then since I have gotten this role, my inbox has been flooded. I'll go out and I'll see people. I saw someone just yesterday that I did not know, and they said, "You're the new president of the Central Florida Urban League." And I said, "Yes, I am, indeed." So this organization has really meant a lot to the people in this community.
Yeah.
I got a message from someone who went through our entrepreneurship and small business cohort, and they were just saying that it was the difference in their business maintaining and not closing. So it's stories like that, being able to see talented people in their roles now and attribute that to what the Urban League has provided them previously. And that is all the affirmation that I need.
It really sounds like a full circle kind of moment, you being elected
Yes, yes. It was when I saw the job had become open. I honestly did say that it would be kind of a full circle. I call it a mission match as opposed to a job, right? I am honored to be able to be at the helm of this organization. And it is truly a mission match for the things that I believe in and the things that I think I have been gifted, the talents I think I've been gifted to provide.
Yeah. It's amazing. So I want to kind of focus on you a little bit.
Okay.
Get a little bit under the hood, if you don't mind.
Okay, let's see.
As a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
how has your life experiences helped shape your leadership style?
Sure. I think one of the things that I would say, and it is so cliche, is that when you have kids, your mindset changes. When you have kids, your mindset just, it absolutely changes. And so I have very young kids, and I think about opportunities that will be present and available and accessible for them. I think about the things that I want for my kids, and I think about that is probably what every parent wants for their kids. And so, in any way that I can be a part of making sure that opportunities are equitable, that opportunities are accessible, and that opportunities are available for the generations that come behind us, then that's what that is part of what shapes my leadership. The mind towards the future and towards the community. Also, what shapes my particular style is just understanding that everybody has a talent. Everybody has something to give. And if they are not giving it, maybe they don't realize it, or maybe they haven't been provided the opportunity to do so. But each and every person has something to give. And so leadership really is about helping people give their best.
That's amazing. So I want you to stay in the parent's mind frame.
Okay.
I'm hearing about all these wonderful opportunities, these
Yeah.
ways to be supported by
Yes.
Central Florida Urban League.
Yes.
How much does it cost?
It's free 99. If it's free, it's for me. It's free to our clients. Our clients don't have to pay anything to participate in our programs. So that is one less barrier. It may cost you your time, it may cost you your focus, but it won't cost you money to participate in any of our programs.
Okay. Is there something that the community can do to help pour back into the Urban League?
Absolutely. So it's free for our clients, but it's not free to do. All of our programming, of course, comes at a cost, right? If we have facilitators, we have program managers, and people want to be paid. Can you imagine? But so it's not free to conduct. And so we have to always have an eye towards funding our programming. And whether that be grants, federal, state, foundation, major gifts, or grassroots kind of fundraising. Doesn't always have to be a $100,000 gift. Maybe it could be $100. All of those things, because certainly in this day and time, it is apparent more than ever that we have to have diversified funding sources, so that if there is somehow trouble with the federal grants, we still have monies available to be able to conduct our programming.
Okay. You mentioned social media earlier.
Okay.
And so I'm assuming that getting youth engaged is a big aspect
Yes.
of what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
How can you imagine the Urban League refreshing their messaging, or providing or creating a pathway for youth to get engaged?
I think, to your point, I think right now social media is that way. One of the first things that people do, they don't even ask for phone numbers anymore, business cards. What's your IG handle? What's your, I think one of my students said Facebook is the retirement home of social media, so they're not really trying to be on Facebook, but like, what's your IG handle, business wise, what's your LinkedIn? So we have to become more active so that people can see themselves and understand how to get involved, understand what we're doing, so they can understand what they want to get involved with.
Mm-hmm. So I have a bit of a tougher question for you.
Uh-oh, let's go.
There's an ongoing discussion about leadership and diversity.
Mm-hmm. There is.
Especially within Black-owned organizations or Black advocacy groups.
Mm-hmm.
How does the Central Florida Urban League approach leadership selection, and what steps does it take to ensure that the diversity in the community is reflected in its leadership?
I think that question is the answer, right? We need to make sure that our leadership, our staff, our programs are reflective of the communities that we serve. We need to make sure that we have different ages. We have people from different economic strata. We need to make sure that we have people with different backgrounds, because it is their lives and their lived experiences that help shape the programs where our clients can find themselves and serve their needs. So we need it to be as reflective of our communities that we serve as possible. And we need it to be authentically so, not by trend and not of the moment, but authentically so, so that if there is pressure, we can stand firm in what we are doing and what we believe. And so that's really the goal as I am building a board, as I am consulting with our staff, as we are developing programs. That's the eye that I have. How is this reflective of who we are serving? And how is this serving the communities where we are?
Yeah, it's amazing. So we're almost wrapping up.
Okay.
I have maybe about three more questions for
All right. I got the time.
you. So I know that funding is a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
but the black community specifically has concerns about people trying to exploit civil advocacy groups.
Sure.
What is one of the ways that the Central Florida Urban League navigates that fine line between corporation and community needs, and what are some of the ways that you feel going forward you can be transparent to the community about the things that you're doing?
Absolutely. I think it deals with goal alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not being transactional. I'm going to give you this and you give me that,
Mm-hmm.
but the alignment of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to help the people who we are helping, if you want to serve the community we are serving, then we have goal alignment. I am one of those who say all money is not good money. So you have to be sure that the organizations that are donating or you're partnering with are people who you want to partner with, people who you are aligned with in mission and vision. And I think that's really how you can create those mutually beneficial partnerships, but those that are authentic. And I think that's what's important. Um, the communities are not, I'm gonna say it carefully, let's say, not for sale.
Yes.
Okay. And so everything that I do, I look at how it serves the community, not how it serves me, not how much money I can bring in and brag about, but if I can bring in the dollars truly for the programming, truly for our clients, then that's what I want to do.
It's a powerful statement, though. It's really amazing. I love the way that the way when you speak, there's a lot of passion. And I can
Yeah.
tell there's a lot of conviction that comes from you. So I'm a bit overwhelmed, a bit touched by what you said. So I'm grateful.
It's true.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got this storied history with the Central Florida Urban League. You're
Yeah.
now one of the major public servants in our community.
Hmm.
History has this really incredible way of tying itself together.
Yes.
Can you talk about maybe one of the most prolific uh, Black history moments and how that message can translate to what we're going through now?
Sure. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Montgomery bus boycott. I think people see snippets, right? Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and then they boycotted, and things got better. Okay. But really, when you examine that, there was a lot of community cohesiveness. There's a lot of collaboration. There was a lot of planning that went into the Montgomery bus boycott. That boycott lasted a year, over a year, not a month, not a week, over a year. And in order for people to get to their jobs, there was a coalition of carpool. There were African Americans who owned taxis who would charge the fare that was equivalent to the bus fare. And then, of course, people walked. So sometimes at great inconvenience to themselves, but collectively joined together in a mission to drive forward a goal. They also had specific asks, right? And so you have to take all of those things into consideration. Number one, what are we going to do? Number two, are we going to do it even when it gets hard? And number two, why are we doing it? What do we want? And I think the lesson there is the ability to have influence and make change when we work together. The best concerts, the best choirs are when all of the voices are singing together in unison. And I think that is something that we can take away and incorporate today, is being able to move things together as a unit and as a true community. The end of the word community is unity. We have to be able to work together in collaboration, in partnership, in strategic planning, and in execution.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
Yeah.
I think that the Central Florida Urban League is really in great hands with you, and we're excited to see what you do. My last question
Okay.
is really more of a personal question.
All right. Let's see.
So I'm going to ask you to indulge me a bit.
Okay.
I want you to shut your eyes and think about your next biggest goal that you want to achieve. When you've found, once you found that, I want you to look in the camera and congratulate yourself on achieving that goal. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Congratulations, Elizabeth, on being able to retire from the Central Florida Urban League, to leave the organization in good hands in accordance with your succession plan and with a very healthy budget and robust programming so that this organization can continue to impact generations to come.
Thank you so much, Miss Grace.
Thank you.
To seeing you succeed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.